Welcome back to the My Team series, where we're taking 20 different FPL experts, FPL players, football influencers teams, we're plugging them into the My Team feature on Hub, and we're seeing what rating they get and their projected points for game week 1. We're throwing them all on a table, we're seeing who's going to come out on top, and today one of you will be put on the table. Let's see how you get on. So how it's going to work is, I've got 6 of your teams here that you submitted on Twitter. We're going to see how they all do, we're going to give you a wee shout out, and whichever one of you does best, we'll make it on the table and we'll see where you finish come the start of the season. So let's jump over to the first team. This team is from Wilson Rain, who I know watches the channel. Hello Wilson, I've seen you in the live streams, and I picked this team out. I picked out a few interesting options. What I liked about this was the Kevin De Bruyne a bit different. We've got 2 of the 8 million mids, you know, Jesus and Watkins up top. I'm not seeing many drafts with Watkins. You know, I like this, it's a bit different, and that guy Janssen on the bench, who actually has some really good underlying statistics. This team, when I put it in like this, I'm assuming you would have captain De Bruyne based on his projected points for game week 1. It comes out with 61.4 predicted points and a team rating of 88%, which is okay, but it could be better, and I think the Watkins maybe lets you down here. Matty Cash isn't projected to get a lot of points, but I can see why you'd pick him up against Bournemouth. This is a really interesting team though, and I'll be interested to see if you can hang on to it all the way up to game week 1. I don't know if you'll have the balls, to be quite honest. Going without the likes of Salah, Haaland, Cancelo, there's a lot of highly owned players here that could definitely hurt you, but equally you've got your own swords that could do damage to others. With De Bruyne captain's a huge differential, and even having the likes of Luis Diaz in there, Watkins if he does well against Bournemouth along with Cash. I like the targeting of those early fixtures, but it will turn after the first 3 for you with Watkins and Cash here whenever you've got West Ham, Arsenal, City and Leicester on the bounce. But good luck with that one, Wilson. 88%. If you're intrigued by this and want to see how your team would do, you can for free. Click the link in the description, it'll bring you over to Hub. Go to the toolbox, click My Team, plug your team in, and you'll see your rating and projected points for game week 1. Let us know in the comments how you're expected to get on. The next team submitted was from Phil's Fod, which is a play on Phil Foden, I imagine, but Phil Foden isn't in the team. We do have 2 City players and Palmer on the bench, so you can see the City bias shining through. This team comes out with an 83% team rating, which I'll be honest is one of the lowest I've seen, and less than 50 predicted points. Why is that? You know, Zuma has Man City in the first game week, which is a really tough fixture, and he's not projected to score well. Cucurella up against United, a really tough fixture. He mightn't even be there. He might even get any minutes. White is probably not the best pick. You know, with Saliba coming back in there could be rotation. Maybe Tomiyasu a better pick at that value. Trent is solid. De Bruyne a nice differential. You've got Salah in there too, and you've got Haaland. That's a nice 3-man play. Kovacic, not really expected to do too well. Not a really good FPL player. He can get an assist from time to time, but not really enough goal threat for me. Bruno Guimaraes, I think, will actually massively outperform his projected points. He's the player I'm most bullish for this season. I live or die on that rock. It could be the rock I perish on. And Darwin has for Fulham for a first fixture, which is great, but equally he's very unproven in the Premier League, so it's no surprise to me this team comes out rated at just 83%. Good luck if you run with this for the first week. I think you might need it. This is Link FPL's team, and there was a couple of things in here that made me pick it. A few things that I thought I want to rate that and see how it comes out. Laporte and Diaz in defence is a little bit different. You know, we're used to seeing the Cancelos. There's none of the Chelsea boys here, and no Perisic, so having Diaz and Laporte, the 2 centre backs, was definitely a little bit different. Trent and Robbo in defence, nice to see, I love that. Luis Diaz, the 3rd Liverpool player there. Saka's in the team, Mount's in the team, a couple of those 8 midfielders. Then Jesus, Haaland and Havertz up top. Personally, when I look at this, I don't like Havertz as an option at all. I would much rather distribute that cash elsewhere, probably into defence, to be honest with you. But, you know, some people like Havertz. I really like him as a player. I just don't really like him for FPL at the minute, but maybe this is the season he proves us wrong. 90% team rating, 55.7 projected points, and in terms of the manager submitted teams today, that is the best team rating we've seen, and that is all that matters. So Link FPL is top of the board as it stands. Let's move on to FPL Maldives. This squad interested me again for a couple of reasons. You know, when I had a look at this initially, the defence and the back line, the goalkeeper, all of that is very, very template. But whenever we go further up the pitch, Odegaard is a pick I absolutely love, and it's a shame that Martinelli looks such good value because it means that Odegaard is massively overlooked. For me, he's going to get way more assists this season than we've seen before. He's such a joy to watch, and I think that will start to reflect in his FPL scoring. I think 6.5 for him could be a bargain, but everyone's going Martinelli, which I understand for the $500,000 saving. Harrison is a bit of a different pick. You know, he's projected to score 3.9 points against Wolves. He has got Chelsea in game week 3, but other than that, the first 7, Leeds actually have really nice fixtures. So maybe Harrison could be a shout. He's not for me. He's by no means on the template, but he's here. And Wilson the same. Has Nottingham Forest in the first game week. Injury prone as we know. Over the first 5 he has Man City and Liverpool in there. Even Wolves mightn't necessarily be too surefire a win or goal for him, but I like Newcastle. I like them for this opening fixture. It just is hard if you're looking to hold them for a few weeks. So Wilson was a bit different here as well. Between Wilson, Odegaard and Harrison though, and the rest of that team, the template they have, you know, 93% team rate and 64.1 points is it is the best manager submitted team we've looked at today. They just keep getting better. This was submitted by Director over on Twitter, and I thought this one was absolutely mad. It was very different, and again it just keeps getting better in terms of the algorithm. We have Raya in goal, who obviously there's Strakosha, whatever else. We'll see how that one goes. Van Dijk and Matip over Trent and Robbo, and Perisic and Doherty instead of any of the Chelsea lads, or even a Cancelo. So yeah, this one just looked a bit different, particularly at the back with the 2 Liverpool centre backs who might be rotated, who knows. Van Dijk pretty nailed. Matip could be brought in and out for the likes of Gomez or Konate, so time will tell on that pick, to be honest with you, but he was outstanding last season. When we go further up the pitch, midfield absolutely template, and forward line, the beauty here is it is a premium draft. There are 3 premium players. We have Kane and Haaland to save any headaches in game week 1 as to which you're going to pick, and even Jesus there is great. I actually really like this. It shows that if we don't go for the premium defence, which all of us are, and I think myself included to be honest, if you don't go big at the back, you can achieve beautiful things up the pitch with a really stacked front line and even Mo Salah to support. So definitely worth thinking about. This comes in with a 93% team rating, and that means it's a tiebreaker, and in the case of tiebreakers here, we go to predicted points. Predicted points here of 64.6, which is better than FPL Maldives 64.1. So this is our new community champion. This is the new community team that will be on the leaderboard unless Andrew Gill with his team can come and step up and beat it. This is Andrew Gill's team, and sadly straight off the bat, 87%, he has not beat it, which means the director's team will be the community champion. But let's talk through this one first. It's 87%, which is a bit lower, so let's talk about why that might be. You know, this is pretty much a 3-premium draft again, and when I keep saying 3-premium, that means 3 premiums for anyone who's not too sure on that. With Raheem Sterling there, a bit of an unknown quantity at Chelsea so far. Kevin De Bruyne, who's an outstanding player, just very hard to justify him this season with the likes of Salah there, Haaland, and the big at the back sort of strategy. Kane there, captain up top. Rashford, be interesting to see how he plays this year. Great value if he can do anything like seasons gone by, apart from last season. Luis Diaz is there. Zaha, he's a fun pick. He is a bit different, but Arsenal, Liverpool open, then Villa and City. You know, United, you've got United, City, Liverpool and Arsenal in your first 7 games there. So for that reason, I can't say I'm a Crystal Palace fan. Trippier there, I love the opening fixture, but again, we've already had a look at the Newcastle fixtures. Man City and Liverpool in the first 5 isn't great, particularly for a defender, but Trippier with great goal threat and always dangerous for an assist. Walker there, a bit of a differential. Tierney and Dean. This actually looks like a differential build more than trying to beat the template, and for that reason the algorithm knows, it's an 87% team rating with 63.9 projected points. Good luck with that in the first game week if you decide to go with it. And here's that tweet that got Director as your community champion. We took 6 of your teams, we had a look at them all. Director came out on top with somewhat of a differential team, particularly at the back and big at the top. He had 93% of a rating and a 64.6 projected points for game week 1. That sticks him on the table, and he comes in at 3rd place, just behind Big Man Bakar and FPL Salah, who are 2 absolute wizards of the game. Their drafts are sitting 1st and 2nd. Then we have the main man Director from today's video, followed closely by Reeve, Kieran Carlin, and Zach Gelab. And you know, the guys have set the standard high. You know, a few high 90s there. We have another 14 people to come in the series. Let's see how all their teams get on. Let's see how drafts advance. Let's see if any new transfers to the league can spice this up. And let's see who comes out on top. Bakar is going to be very hard to beat. If you enjoyed this, why not go and watch our last episode where FPL Salah took on the challenge. You can see the team he built, the expert, to make a better team than any of the teams we've seen today. And make sure you subscribe to catch the rest of the series. Bye bye.